Okay, let's just get right to it. I'm about to tell you that the biggest lie you tell yourself is that you don't have enough time. We're going to look at a framework that proves the problem isn't your schedule, it's your awareness.
Sound familiar? Of course it does. It's that constant nagging feeling, right? That your biggest goals are always just out of reach because the day is already packed. You want to launch that business, you want to get in shape, you want to pick up guitar, but the 24 hours you get just seem to evaporate.
You know, we all tell ourselves a story about how busy we are. But here's the thing. There's an impartial judge that has the cold, hard data on our actual behavior. And yeah, it's sitting right there in your pocket.
28 hours. That is the average amount of time Americans spend on their phones every single week outside of work. Let that sink in. That is not a few minutes of scrolling here and there. That's a part-time job. A part-time job where you get paid nothing. And you spend it doing what exactly? That question right there, that's the one that's going to change everything.
And this brings us to this core idea I want to talk about, the great time lie. It's this belief we all have that our lack of progress is because of a lack of time, when the evidence, well, it suggests something else entirely.
So here it is, plain and simple. The issue isn't a lack of hours in the day, it's a lack of attention to where those hours are actually going. Think about it. You can't manage what you don't measure, and most of us have never, ever seriously measured our time.
So how does this even happen? I mean, we're not lazy, right? It's just, we're living life on its default settings. We're just reacting instead of acting. We're letting the day happen to us instead of designing it for ourselves.
This slide, this one really hits home. It shows the massive gap between how we feel and what's actually real. You feel slammed, busy all day, but in reality, you might just be reacting to an endless waterfall of emails. You feel productive, but was that hour you just spent on social media actually moving you toward a goal? This is exactly what it means to operate on autopilot.
This is why this whole thing matters so much. Time is our most valuable, absolutely non-renewable asset. You can't get it back. Every hour we waste by not being intentional is an hour gone. Forever. We track our money down to the penny, but we let our most precious resource just slip right through our fingers.
Okay, so if time is that valuable, how do we stop it from slipping away? How do we switch off that autopilot and actually take the controls? Well, it starts with a really simple but powerful tool called the 4-step time audit. This is where we go from just feeling busy to knowing the facts.
So let's just walk through this process. It's super straightforward. We're going to start by tracking our time to get some honest data. Then we'll categorize it to see what's really going on. After that, we'll do the math, we'll face the truth. And finally, we'll set a really simple target to start reclaiming our lives.
All right, step 1, the 72-hour trek. For 3 straight days, you are going to log every single hour of your day. Now, the key here, and I can't stress this enough, is brutal honesty. Don't try to be more productive just because you're writing it down. The whole point is to capture your default setting reality. If you scrolled TikTok for an hour, you write it down. Okay, step 2, the color code. You're going to go back over your 72-hour log, and you're going to assign a color to every block of time. Green time is for mission-focused activities, the stuff that truly moves your life forward. Yellow time is for maintenance, all the necessary stuff like chores, commuting, you get it. And red? Well, red is the league time, the mindless scrolling, the pointless internet arguments. This is the time with zero return on investment.
And when they do the math, this is what most people see. Just a tiny little sliver of green time, a huge chunk of yellow maintenance time, and then a shockingly large piece of the pie. We're talking 30–40% is just red time, time that's basically been set on fire.
This is step 3, the math. And I'm telling you, this is the real turning point. It might be a little painful to look at, but for the first time, you are no longer operating on a feeling. You are operating on pure data. You can finally see the leak, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. This awareness, this is where all your power comes from.
So now for the incredible payoff. Once you can see that red time, you can start to reclaim it. And what you can get back, it might just blow your mind. Let's go find your hidden 9 weeks.
This is step 4, the reclaim target. Now, the solution isn't to eliminate all your red time. Come on, we're human. We need to zone out sometimes. The play is incredibly simple. Find just 1 hour of red time each day and convert it to green time. Just 1. That's it.
Yep, that's the whole plan. Not some radical, crazy overhaul of your life. Just 1 single hour. Maybe you wake up and you spend that first hour on your business plan instead of scrolling social media. Or maybe you use your commute to listen to an audiobook that teaches you something new. 1 intentional hour.
But look what happens when that one small change starts to compound. 1 hour a day becomes 365 hours over the course of a year. That is a massive amount of focused, mission-driven time that you just created, literally out of thin air.
And here it is, the final, mind-blowing calculation. 365 hours is the equivalent of more than nine full-time, 40-hour work weeks. Just imagine for a second what you could build, what you could learn, or who you could become with 9 extra work weeks every single year. That time was always there, just hidden inside your red time.
So look, this information is powerful, but it's completely useless without action. And that brings us to the final part of our explainer. I'm calling it the Architect's Challenge.
So here's the assignment. Don't just watch this and then move on with your day. Start your 72-hour track right now, today. Be honest. Then color code it. And finally, identify that 1 hour of red time you are going to convert to green starting tomorrow.
And that leaves us with one final question. Now that you know this, you have a choice. Are you going to keep running on those default settings, feeling busy but knowing you're going nowhere? Or are you going to step up, become the architect of your time, and finally start living by your own design? The choice is yours.